Welcome to my first video on Skull Talk. This channel is pretty much exactly what the name says. Just gonna be talking about the Vikings, at least for the most part, pretty much just the Vikings. Hopefully every day, or at least every other day, hopefully to get a video up. But yeah, not gonna waste any time. I'm just gonna kind of get into the video. Today is the first day of training camp practice, so the football season is here, and obviously the excitement is through the roof. At least for me. I always love this time of the year. Obviously not as much as the games, but honestly it's pretty close. I love training camp, so I'm really excited. And I thought a good idea for my first video, since it is the first day of training camp, to kind of go through my predictions for who I think will make the roster this year. All right. So my predictions for the 2026 Minnesota Vikings 53-man roster. We'll start off with the quarterbacks. I think this is how it's gonna look. I think Kyler is going to win the job with JJ as the backup. And Carson Wentz as the third quarterback with Max Prosmer. I think will be a practice squad, and I don't think he'll be claimed. So I think he'll stay on the practice squad team. So yeah, I really do believe that this is Kyler Murray's job to lose. I think that he's going into training camp with already kind of having the edge. I know O'Connell said that it's going to be fair, or at least as fair as he can make it. Obviously, not everything's gonna be 50-50, but I think that's true. I think they might get the same opportunities, but I do think Kyler is already the favorite. Um, so yeah, I think JJ has to not only play extremely well, but I think Kyler also has to look pretty bad, which I don't think is going to be the case. I think Kyler coming into the system where he's never really had this type of system where he is going to be asked to do more things as the quarterback, not in the past he's done a lot of RPO stuff. So I think it's gonna be good for him. Kind of get out of his comfort zone a little bit. Obviously, that can also lead to bad things and mistakes, but I don't think that was gonna be the case. I think Kevin O'Connell's gonna get the best out of him. And with JJ, it's really tough because we did see a little improvement last year, but was it enough to really give him the job for this year? No, it wasn't. Not at all. I do think that a lot of this competition is really just meant for him, just to see how much more he can improve with the added competition. So I'm excited to see him improve, because hopefully, obviously after this season, if Kyler is the quarterback and he balls out, there's going to be a choice to make. So we'll see how that plays out. But first, let's just get through the season first, and hopefully Kyler is our guy. And I think, and then for Carson Wentz as a third quarterback, I think it's a great guy to be your QB3. The top two guys have history of injuries, so if either one of those guys gets hurt, or if both those guys gets hurt, I feel somewhat comfortable with Carson Wentz playing some football. But yeah, we'll see, and that's what I have for the quarterbacks this year. Running backs I don't think many of these positions are going to be too surprising on who I think is making the team. Obviously, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, kind of more of a 1A, 1B type thing, with Damon Claiborne as running back 3. And I do have high hopes that he gets playing time this year. I really hope that he gets a chance. I think he has that home run ability that we don't have in the other two guys. But those two guys are productive running backs still, and they're gonna do their thing. But I still would like to see Damon Claiborne get a chance, and maybe he can be our guy for the future. Wide receivers, top 3 guys it's not even a question. I mean, Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in football. Jordan Addison, one of probably top 3, top 4 wide receiver 2s in the NFL. Juwan Jennings is the best wide receiver 3 in the NFL. Then to round it off with Ty Felton, Miles Price, and Dylan Bell. I decided to keep 6 receivers. I do think Ty Felton played a lot of special teams last year. Miles Price, obviously, as the return man. I didn't mention with the running backs, but I do think that Damon Claiborne has a chance maybe to be a kick return guy and Miles Price just be the punt return. We'll see. I mean, Miles Price was good at both, but I know Claiborne did. I don't know if he did every year in college, but I'm pretty sure he did at least a little bit. So, but yeah, Miles Price will make the team. I don't know how much him making the team is due to his receiving ability, but I know for sure his return ability is there. And Dylan Bell, I think he makes the team. He showed a lot of splashes in OTAs and minicamp, so yeah, I think he makes the team as well. Tight ends, um, again, top two guys. It's not really surprising. TJ Hawkinson, Josh Oliver, then tight end 3, Ben Yurosek. I think Hawkinson and Oliver, great duo. Hawkinson obviously is there more for the receiving threat. Josh Oliver is one of, if not the best blocking tight end, I mean, in the NFL. And Ben Yurosek, he was on the team last year. I think there's not really, I don't think Gavin Bartholomew is going to beat him out. I think Ben Yurosek has shown last year he played a little bit, so I think he's going to take that job. And O-line. I don't, so on the left here, I have what I think what it's going to look like. The starting 5 is going to be left tackle Christian Jerisaw, left guard Donovan Jackson, center Blake Brendel, right guard Will Fries, and Brian O'Neill at right tackle. If these 5 guys play together the whole season, I think they can be a top 10 group in the NFL this year. Obviously, last year we thought the same thing, but then I think it was, I don't even know. I can't even count. I can't even begin to think of how many snaps they actually played together. Our starting 5 with Ryan Kelly center, I don't think that they played more than, I don't know, 5% of the snaps. I mean, it has to be close to that, right? So I would love to see these 5 guys play together, at least for the majority of the season. And then for the backups, we got Ryan Vandermark, Caleb Tiernan, our 3rd round pick, Michael Jurgens, and Delby Lemieux. Ryan Vandermark, I think, probably one of the better swing tackles that in the league right now. I feel very confident if one of the guys goes down and he has to go, and I feel very confident in that. I can't say that I've always felt that way with the Vikings backup tackles or backup linemen in general. Caleb Tiernan, obviously just a 3rd round pick, so there has to be some sort of plan in place. You don't just take a 3rd round pick on a guy that you have no plans for. So I'm interested to see what they do with him. And Michael Jurgens, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but Michael Jurgens, I played a little bit last year. wasn't too bad. You could tell that he was pretty overwhelmed, but I did think that there were some good flashes there. So I'm excited to see him on the team. And W. Lemieux, honestly, I just really like his name. And when it came down to kind of the last few spots, I'm like, who do I want to keep? I decided to pick him because if you have a name like that, you have to be good. That's it. Oh, and then fullback, Max Bredesen. Yeah, I think he's a lock to make the team. I think he's the only candidate for fullback. So I know Kevin O'Connell is going to want to have a fullback this year. So he's kind of an easy pick. And I actually really like him. He's just a guy that's he's just gonna kind of like CJ Ham out. He's gonna fill the hole and just hit a guy, knock you on the butt. I love that. So I'm excited to see him play. Then get to the defensive line. So on the left here, top to bottom is my starters: Caleb Banks, Dominic Orange, and Jalen Redmond. And then I think it's going to be that way. So Caleb Banks, then Dominic Orange at the nose, and Jalen Redmond as the other end. I think that's how it's going to go. I wouldn't be surprised, I guess, if Caleb Banks was the nose. I don't know exactly how that's going to play out. That's just what I have now. I think either way, those 3 guys are starting. And then on the backups here, Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, Levi Jake Rodriguez, and Isaiah Loudermilk. I think Loudermilk for sure, just to have kind of the more veteran presence in that room. And the other 2 guys, Levi Jake Rodriguez really showed flashes last year when he played. Um, I think he's a great rotational guy. And Ingram Dawkins, I'm not. I don't know. I don't remember exactly if last year he came in as more of an edge guy, and then now he's kind of being put in. That's what I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what I've been seeing, and so that's why I put him here in for the interior defensive line, and not as the edge rusher. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to look. So, and the outside linebackers, again, top to bottom here on the left side, Dallas Turner and Andrew Van Ginkel as our two starters, with Bo Richter and Tyler Batty as our backups, and I think they have to sign someone. This you can't go in the season with having Bo Richter and Tyler Batty or whoever else makes the team there. Can't go in the season with that. You need some more experience and just more talent in that room in general. I know Clowney is available right now, but it looks like he's probably going to go back to Cleveland. So, and Nolan Teasley kind of mentioned it in his presser the other day that there's always guys out there and they're going to find them. So, hopefully we find the right guy and just get another body in there at least. I think that's very needed, especially with Van Ginkel's injuries, and you just never know. So it would be nice to have another guy in there that has at least some sort of experience. Inside linebackers, Blake Cashman and Eric Wilson as our two starters there. And Jake Golday and Jamal Adams as our other two guys. I know Jamal Adams is kind of a hybrid guy, but from what I've seen, he's going to be listed as a linebacker, so that's where I put him. I think he makes the team. I don't think you sign him unless you think he's making the team. I know that, well, considering the system that we have on defense, and just based off what Nolan Teasley said and what Brian Flores says about him, it makes it seem like Jamal Adams is signed here because we have a plan for him and plan on having him somewhat in the rotation. Jake Golday, a second round pick. I think I can see him as an inside linebacker or outside linebacker, honestly. Kind of in the Van Ginkel role. I can see either one. I put him as inside linebacker. I know he's making the team, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if he takes over Eric Wilson's spot. But after last year, you had to give Eric Wilson that starting role, at least for now. Unless Jake Golday just is lights out and takes it, I think Eric Wilson will be the week one starter for sure. And to the cornerbacks, again, left side here, Byron Murphy Jr., Isaiah Rodgers, and James Pierre. I think James Pierre is a very sneaky signing that we did. It was the first day of free agency, and so I feel like people kind of forgot about it. But I really think that he is going to. I think he's going to perform very well. But I know last year he didn't have very many snaps, but I know he was rated high on PFF, and I mean I'm not a PFF glacier by any means, but I do think that they give you something at least. So yeah, I'm excited to see him. And then Isaiah Rodgers and Byron Murphy. They're good corners. Isaiah Rodgers had his ups and downs last year. He obviously had that really awesome game against the Bengals. But yeah, I think he had some tackling problems last year, but other than that, solid starter. Byron Murphy Jr. I think is underrated, especially with Vikings fans. I know 2 years ago he had, was it 7 interceptions, 7 interceptions. But when you don't hear a corner's name a lot, that's not always a bad thing. Then my bench, I'm only keeping 5, Dwight McGlothern and Zemiah Vaughn. I'm still really big on Zemiah Vaughn, so I'm just gonna keep pushing that narrative until it comes to truth. And obviously Dwight McGlothern, I also the same way. I've been a fan of him since he came in, so I'm just gonna keep pushing the narratives until it comes true. Safeties. Theo Jackson, Jay Ward, Josh Metellus. This is assuming Harrison Smith is not coming back. If he does, then I think we still keep 6 and we drop someone else from a different position group. But then I think starters would be Harrison Smith, Theo Jackson, Josh Metellus. But I actually kind of would want it to be Jay Ward, Harrison Smith and Josh Metellus. And then on the bench, Jacoby Thomas and Tavier Thomas. And obviously, okay, so I also put 3 safeties. Obviously, that's not usually how it works, but the Vikings run 3 safeties a lot, so I'm just putting them as starters. So if you go through all my starters, it's going to be more than 11, but I don't care. So that's just how I'm going to put it. But Jacoby Thomas and Tavier Thomas, I do think Jacoby Thomas has a chance to take the starting role from either Theo Jackson or Jay Ward. It'll depend on how he adjusts to the NFL, but I do think that if he does, he can be a stud. I really have high hopes for him and hope to see him on the field at some point during the regular season. And then specialists, there's literally no. I know there's. Oh, I don't remember his name now. I think he's the Australian punter. I think he's from Australia. I know he's at camp this year to kind of battle with Johnny Hekker, but this is going to be it. It's going to be Will of Thrill, a kicker, Johnny Hekker, and Andrew DePaula. Those are going to be your guys and your specialists. Yeah, I think that's honestly one of the best specialist groups in the league. Will of Thrill is, I think, the best kicker in the NFL, which is crazy that the Vikings have never had that, and it's weird because even after last year, watching how good he has been, even his rookie year, how good he was, it's still like the back of your head, you're always like, I don't want to be too confident in him, you know? But yeah, so that's my predictions for the 53-man roster. I know that the Vikings right now are not, nationally, no one's really giving them a chance or even batting an eye at them. Everyone pretty much has the Bears, Lions, and Packers as winning their division. All fair. It's all good teams. I think I have an opinion on those 3 teams that aren't necessarily aligned with other people, but I will share that opinion on a different time. Right now, we're just focusing on the 53-man roster. I might make another video of this 53-man roster prediction the day before they do cuts. So this is not my final prediction, but this is my first one going into camp, and we'll see. We'll see where we go from there. So yeah, I'm super excited to see how this turns out. I know the quarterbacks are going to be a lot of attention with the media. So I will be talking about that every day, or at least every other days as news comes in. But I also will be making sure to talk about the other groups too, because I know defensively there's a lot of rookies that have a chance to play. I mean, even chance to start, and that's not necessarily the norm for Brian Flores' defense or even the Vikings defense in general. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, if you want to see me again somewhere else, subscribe to the Bants Bros podcast. I have a podcast with my 2 brothers where we talk about all sports, football, basketball, mostly. Yeah, so go subscribe to them too, but also don't forget to like and subscribe to me. Thank you.